Hi everyone and welcome to week 2. We are going to carry on with Fantastic Mr. Fox today. So last week we looked at the 3 horrible farmers who were the beginning of this story, and they are out to get Fantastic Mr. Fox. So I thought this week we'd actually look at Fantastic Mr. Fox himself and how clever he is and what he does and why the farmers are out to get him. So we're going to read a little bit more of this later and then make up some dances about it too. So first of all, we're going to do a warm-up. So come into the space with me. And we're going to start with our beans game. So I call out different kinds of beans, and you've got to show me the movement and the action that go with those beans. So I'm going to start with my favourite, which is the jelly bean. Exactly, here we go. Wibble wobble. Super wobbly. This is really good to warm up your shoulders, your back, your hips, your knees, your ankles, your toes, your fingers, everything's super wobbly. Good. The next one is the runner bean. So can you jog on the spot, or if you've got a bit more space, can you jog around your room? I've got a tiny bit more space, not much though. Okay, the next one is our baked bean. So this is where we bake in the sunshine. Ah, lovely. Really stretch out like a star shape, but nice and relaxed on the floor. Good. Our next one is our jumping bean. Be careful where your ceiling is. If you've got a low room, and give me some nice jumps. Good. You can do little hops from side to side once your jumping bean. And finally, we've got our broad bean, which is a really wide, really stretched out broad bean, which means really wide. Good. So we have all our different beans. So let's start with our broad bean. Can you face a different direction? And show me your broad bean. There we go. Nice and wide. Into our runner bean. Off you go. Go, 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 go. You can do a little run around the space. Well done. Jumping bean. Going to get your heart rate going. We're really fit doing the bean game, aren't we? Good. Okay, into our baked bean. Ah, nice and relaxed. Nice and heavy and floppy on the floor. Good. But you can't rest for too long because we're going to go straight into our jelly bean. Ooh, made of jelly. Good. Floppy, floppy. All over the place. And show me another broad bean. Can you show me a different direction? So if you faced one way, can you face the other way? Good. Really stretch. So if you can touch your fingers to one wall and the other wall at the same time. Stretch. Good. Back into jumping bean. Good, good, good. Jump, 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 jump. Runner. Okay, jelly. Ah, baked. Ah, flop. Well done. And broad bean. One more different direction. Okay, face a different way. Well done. Good. Shake your arm really hard as if you're shaking off peanut butter that's stuck to the end of your fingers. Shake off your other hand. Peanut butter stuck to that finger. How did that get on there? Okay, shake your other leg. You've got peanut butter on your toe. Shake it off. And your other one, shake it off. See if you can balance as well. Good. You've got peanut butter on your tummy. Shake it off. Okay, on your shoulders. Shake it off. Good. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our arm shakes. So this really gets our shoulders and our backs really strong. Okay, so we're going to stand in parallel, and that's where your feet are slightly far apart from each other. They're in 2 lines like a train track, so they don't go apart from each other and they don't go any closer to each other. They stay in line, and your knees stay in the same line as well. Good, and the arms are going to come up, and we're going to flick off our peanut butter, and we're going to flick 8 flicks to the ceiling. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to flick 8 to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. We're going to flick 8 counts down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8 to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're then going to halve it. Half of 8 is, very good, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 in front, 4 below, 4 to the side. Then we're going to halve it again. Half of 4 is 2. So we go 2, 2, 2, 2, and then we halve it again. Half of 2 is 1. So we're going to go flick, flick, just one flick. And we're going to repeat that again because that's quite fast. Flick, 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 flick. Good. So keep your arms as straight as you can. Okay, we're going to go 8, 4, 2, and 1s. Okay, right, let's try that with some music. Okay, so I think that helps keep the motivation going. Right, here we go. Here we go. So 8 first of all. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down. Good. To the side. Side. Okay, 4s. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 2s. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1s. 1s. How did you get on? That's quite fast, isn't it? Let's do the 2s and the 1s again, okay? So we're going to go 2, 1, 2, and then the 1s. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Well done. Okay, hopefully we're a bit warmer now. I definitely feel warm on my shoulders, my whole body, especially from the jelly bean warm-up. So I think we should read more of Fantastic Mr. Fox. Here we go. So what we did is we looked at the 3 farmers who were not the nicest people, were they? Do you remember we had the 3 farmers who all lived very close together, and we had Farmer Boggis, Farmer Bunce and Farmer Bean. So Boggis was a chicken farmer and he ate a lot. And Bunce was a duck and goose farmer and he used to stuff donuts with goose livers. Ugh, and he was very grumpy. And this is Bean. He was a turkey and apple farmer and he was the cleverest one of all. So he was the one who keeps coming up with all these plans. So this is chapter 2 called Mr. Fox. On a hill above the valley there was a wood. In the wood there was a huge tree. Under the tree there was a hole. In the hole lived Mr. Fox and Mrs. Fox and their 4 small foxes. Every evening, as soon as it got dark, Mr. Fox would say to Mrs. Fox, "Well, my darling, what shall it be this time? A plump chicken from Boggis, a duck or a goose from Bunce, or a nice turkey from Bean?" And when Mrs. Fox had told him what she wanted, Mr. Fox would creep down into the valley in the darkness of the night and help himself. Boggis, Bunce and Bean knew very well what was going on, and it made them wild with rage. They were not men who liked to give anything away. Less still did they like anything to be stolen from them. So every night, each of them would take his shotgun and hide in a dark place somewhere on his own, on his farm, hoping to catch the robber. But Mr. Fox was too clever for them. He was always approached a farm with the wind blowing in his face, and this meant that if any man were lurking in the shadows ahead, the wind would carry the smell of that man to Mr. Fox's nose from far away. Thus, if Mr. Boggis was hiding behind his chicken house number 1, Mr. Fox would smell him out from 50 yards off and quickly change direction, heading for chicken house number 4 at the other end of the farm. "Dang and blast that lousy beast," cried Boggis. "I'd like to rip his guts out," said Bunce. "He must be killed," cried Bean. "But how?" said Boggis. "How on earth can we catch the blighter?" Bean picked his nose delicately with his long finger. "I have a plan," he said. "You've never had a decent plan yet," said Bunce. "Shut up and listen," said Bean. "Tomorrow night we shall all hide outside the hole where the fox lives. We will wait there until he comes out. Then bang, 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 bang." "Very clever," said Bunce. "But first we shall have to find the hole. My dear Bunce, I have already found it, said the crafty bean. It's up in the wood on the hill. It's under a huge tree. So there we go. So they have a plan, but I don't know if you've read the book. If you can read the rest of this story, it's brilliant. But Mr. Fox is really, really clever, and basically he digs his way away from the farmers so he doesn't get caught. It's a really, really good book. But today what we're going to do is look at Mr. Fox and what he's like as a fox. Now, I thought about a few words to describe him, and I think he's pretty clever. I think he prowls, which means he sort of crawls along the ground very, very quietly before he climbs up into those chicken houses to get the chickens and turkeys and geese. I think he snaps, because I think foxes actually have very strong jaws, and I think just before they go in, they grab a chicken and they snap, so they catch it. I think he's actually very caring. Although he catches all the animals for their dinner, I think he's very caring and looks after his family, doesn't he? He has a great stillness about him. I don't know if you've ever seen an animal, just before they're about to catch something, they go very, very still so they can't be seen or heard. And that's what Mr. Fox does just before he catches the chickens. He's swift, which means quite fast and quite graceful. And he has to dig, and this is how he gets away from the farmers. He digs and digs and digs and digs, and he digs tunnels right up underneath into the chickens and the geese and the turkey sheds. So he's also very protecting of his family, isn't he? So he's caring and protecting. And he likes to pounce. Again, just before animals are about to go and catch something, they go very still, and then they jump, and then they pounce on their prey so they can catch it. And they have to be very, very fast to do this. So I picked out a few of my favourite words. I really like prowl, snap, stillness, dig, pounce, and fast. And I thought what I'm going to do is look at these words and make up a movement and a dance around each one. So let me show you what I've come up with. And what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to start by prowling. So I want you to go down on your hands and knees, and you're using your opposite leg to hand. So you're going to walk and crawl out on your hands and knees. So we're going to go prowl, prowl, hold, and then back. Prowl, prowl, hold. So we're going to go forwards, hold, and back. Hold. Good. And you're going to be very, very still, because it's like just before you're about to go and catch something. We're then going to go into a ball on our feet, and we're going to jump out, and we're going to pounce on something that we've seen. So we're going to go very low, and you're going to jump out into a press-up position. So you're going to jump out and back again, and jump out and back again. Good. Now if you can't land on your hands, because you have to be quite strong to do that, what you can do is go on your knees, and you can walk out and then walk back in again, and walk out and then walk back in again. But if you want to, you can very carefully do a little jump out and then back in again. Good. So we've done our pouncing. The next thing we're going to do, we are going to dig. We're going to dig our way to these chickens. So we're going to start to the side, and we're going to claw our hands, and we're going to dig all the way around. But he just doesn't dig down, he digs up as well. So we're going to dig all the way to the top, all the way around, and then we're going to do it again, because he digs for days and days and days and days. All the way around. Good. So you've done our digging, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come up into the chicken house, and he's very, very fast, because there are chickens everywhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to zigzag to the side, to the side, to the side, to the side, as fast as you can go. Zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. And you're going to look as well. Look up, look down, look to the side, look to the side. Good. And finally we see something, and we're going to catch it with a snap. Good. Okay. So this is our Mr. Fox dance. So we start off by prowling on the floor. So we're going to go forwards, 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 back, 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 forwards, 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 back, back, hold, very still, good. We're then going to go into pouncing. So we crouch down and we jump out, and back in, and jump out, and back in. From here we're going to dig round and up, and over, and round, and up, and over. Good. From here, we're going to jump up, and we're going to go very fast because we're in the chicken house. We're going to zig, zag, zig, high, low, high, low. Freeze. We see something, and we're going to snap. Did you catch it? Good. Okay. If you want to, you can wind back the film and have a little bit more of a practice, because there's quite a lot of movements in that one. Catch your breath. Or if you want to, you can go ahead and we're going to try it with the music. Okay, so if you need to, pause it. If not, you can have a go with the music. So here we go. Let's try our Mr. Fox dance. Good, how did you get on? Was that okay? Okay, so this time, what I want you to do is I want you to make your performance much, much bigger, okay? So, what we're going to do, when we're thinking about our prowling, I want to think about speeds as well. How slowly can you go? Because actually, we're going to start quite slowly, slowly, before we're going to pounce. So we're going to go on the floor, opposite arm to leg. So we've got our one leg here, and the other hand on the floor. I'm going to crawl out. Can you do a sort of lunge? Crawl, good. And then back, opposite, opposite, well done. And again, so we go forwards, forwards, back, back, well done. Okay, from here, we do our stillness. Okay, so when you're here, you're going to still, and you've got to listen. Can you hear any farmers? Can you smell any farmers? They're a bit stinky because they eat such horrible food, don't they? Good. Okay, from here, we're going to pounce. So on our legs, you've got to think about slightly going over and down. Remember, if you need to go on your knees, go on your knees, okay? If not, we're going to jump and try and catch something and run your hands back. Forwards, and run your hands back. From here, we're going to dig. You've got to dig really fast because those farmers are coming at us and they're trying to chase us. So we're going to dig, 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 dig right round in a circle. You've got to imagine all this earth above your head. Dig, 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 dig. Well done. Good. Standing up, and you're coming up inside the chicken shed. There are hundreds of chickens. You are starving. So we're going to go as fast as you can. Zigzag, make that zigzag pathway on the floor. Okay, zig, zag, zig. You can go backwards, forwards. They're everywhere. Suddenly you see one. Ready, focus. You're going to catch it. Did you get it? Well done. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, it's called a bit of performance, lots of energy, and it makes the dance look really, really good. So let's try that again with music. Here we go. how did you get on? Did you find it? Well done. Did you get that chicken at the end and snap it? Well done. Fantastic work. Okay, I think we need to calm down a bit now, don't we? Let's do some very slow motion moving, okay, just to catch our breath and bring everything down again. So, back in your space, what we're going to do is we're going to do our handshakes, our hand flicks, sorry, but we're going to do them quite slowly. So we're just going to flick our hands out very slowly. Good. Can you feel your heart going slightly slower? Okay. And your breathing going slower as well. So we flick up, and breathe, and breathe, and breathe. Good, well done. Can you go onto your knees? Okay, I'm going to do slow motion digging. So can we go dig, 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 dig. Can we go slow motion? Slow motion. Okay, and even slower. Well done. Good, even slower. Okay, well done. Can you put your hands forward as if we're going to do a pounce? But we're not going to do a pounce. We're going to very gently walk our hands forward and walk our hands back. And walk our hands forward and walk our hands back. Well done, good. Can you put your heels down? We're going to stretch the back of your legs and roll all the way up till we finish. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Well done. Fantastic work. I bet you did some brilliant dancing today. I hope you enjoyed your fantastic Mr. Fox dancing part 2. What you can do is wind back that video and keep practicing those moves, and if you want to, you can use different directions. You can think of your own words as well. What other words reminds you of Mr. Fox and his family and the farmers and things, and you can make up your own dances. And if you're with someone else, maybe someone else could be the farmer and you could be fantastic Mr. Fox. How would they work together? Is one chasing the other? Have a think about that. Okay, there's so much you can do with that book. It's fantastic. But thank you very much. I hope you had a good lesson, and I will see you soon. Thank you.